Purple Patriot!
I came as soon as I heard there was trouble. How did the police get here so quickly?
There's a donut shop next door to the bank.
One of the clerks in the bank hit the silent alarm. We were on the scene in minutes, but they already had the place locked down tight.
Has anyone seen my raspberry jelly with the sprinkles? I think I left it behind when we got the call.
Tell me everything about the situation.
What do you want to know?
Have you been able to ascertain what happened?
According to an eyewitness, a van pulled up outside the bank around 9:30 a.m. A gang of men dressed in combat fatigues and wearing balaclavas jumped out and ran into the bank.
Any idea of numbers?
Our witness wasn't sure. Between 4 and 7. Since we've been on scene, we've only been able to spot 3. 2 in the back office and 1 in the lobby who keeps checking his watch.
He probably wants to get home in time for Modern Family. Tonight, Cam and Mitchell hire an uptight conservative au pair with hilarious consequences.
I understand these guys are Russian mafia.
According to our witness, they spoke to one another in Russian. We've been working some leads which suggested that the Russian mafia were planning something big. This must be it.
Those Soviet savages are probably trying to start another Cold War.
Well, at least you've got something in common with them, eh? Remember those Russian names you had us, run at the station a few weeks ago?
What about them?
Well, one of them had ties to the Russian mob.
Yeah, some jerk-off who used to be in the army.
Not Jerkoff, Zherkov. His name was Colonel Zherkov.
What did you find on him?
He had a reputation as a brutal foe, and there were rumours his squad were involved in torturing civilians in Chechnya. He was forced out of the Russian army after footage leaked of him brutally beating one of his own men after a failed mission. After that, he hooked up with a Russian crime syndicate, where he quickly earned a reputation for killing anyone who stood in his way.
And he's at large in New York?
So it seems.
I hate tourists.
What demands have the hostage takers made?
None. They haven't made contact.
Nothing at all? Isn't that a bit strange?
Typical immigrant workforce. They probably don't speak the language.
They could be buying time to come up with a plan. They probably didn't count on the police getting here so soon.
Where is the van the gang arrived in?
The driver took off.
Probably panicked when the police arrived on scene.
Actually, no. Our witness was very specific. The van left immediately after the gang got out.
Well, you know, armed robbery is one thing, but parking on a double yellow line is just bad manners.
That's enough for now. Thank you, Detective.
Anytime.
Lieutenant, I can end this ugly siege for you. Let me in there, and I'll bring you 10 dead criminals.
What about the hostages?
You want them dead too?
Sorry, Purple Patriot. If it was just 10 bad guys, I'd cheerfully let you beat the crap out of them. With hostages in there, I just can't take the chance.
I've got a plan on taking down the hostages.
That's great. What is it?
You might want to hold your praise until the end. His idea for eliminating Al-Qaeda was to remove the letter A from the alphabet.
Hey, no one would be frightened of Al-Qaeda.
The plan?
Right. Dive through the plate glass window, taking down one of the perps with a kick to the throat. Vault over the bank counter and take down 2 more with judo throws. Then run through the double doors into the rear of the premises, dodging bullets and incapacitating bad guys along the way. What do you think?
I don't know. Sounds dangerous.
Then don't do it. Stay here with us. We'll talk later, Lieutenant.
I look forward to it.
have to convince Lieutenant Griffith that I can resolve this conflict.
She's worried about bloodshed.
There's no need to worry. I'll make sure those Marxist muttonheads shed plenty of blood.
Hostage blood. She thinks you're a loose cannon. We'll never convince her that she's wrong.
Why not?
Because you are. Maybe we can convince her that I'm competent and able to keep you in check.
What claptrap. She clearly despises you.
Oh, she hates me, all right. No question about that. She still respects my abilities, though.
What can you do to show Lieutenant Griffith that we can be useful in this situation?
Suppose I could get into the bank's computer system. I could get into their security subsystems, monitor security cameras, count the number of hostiles. Hell, if I could get into City Hall as well, I could bring up schematics of the building and overlay the location of each of the perps onto them.
You can really do all that? So it's true. You really can do anything on the internet these days.
Yeah, it's not quite that simple. There is some technical skill involved as well.
Of course, you're a genius. That's why I have you on my team.
Oh, I thought it was just a thump on the filing cabinet when you get stuck changing your costume.
Stick around, old friend. I may have need of you later. Do you mind if we set up on here?
If you scratch my paintwork, I'll do what all women do when they want to make a man's life not worth living.
Watch out, mate. I think she's gonna marry you. I'm connected to the bank computer system, but I need a login before I can do anything.
You're supposed to be a hacker. Hack.
From a cold start, trying to find a back door could take days, if not weeks. It would be much better if we did some social engineering.
You mean, like, get a dog and a cat to mate?
That falls more into the category of playing God. I was thinking in terms of persuading a bank employee to give us their login details.
What's up, Purple Patriot?
Do you have access to the bank schematics?
City Hall says I don't have sufficient security clearance to be allowed access. If we wait until the feds get here, they'll have access to them. But when the feds take over, any hope of a successful mission will have vanished. The goddamn bureaucracy in this job will be the death of me.
Assuming those foot-long chili dogs don't get you first.
What's wrong with him?
He gets self-conscious whenever anyone mentions footlongs.
Are any of the bank employees around? We were thinking they might be able to help us.
Actually, the deputy manager is talking to the captain. Why?
He could probably help me with the bank's computer system. We might be able to get access to the security system and retrieve some useful intel.
He would never agree to that. It's illegal and he'd lose his job anyway. Sorry guys, but that's a non-starter.
I bet you could persuade that deputy manager to give you his login. You could use some of that famous charm of yours.
And if that doesn't work, show him your thrupnies.
Not a chance. I am not going on a date with some snot-nosed kid barely out of college to get his login details.
Think how good it would look to your boss if he saw you getting the information you need to resolve this crisis.
Ugh, the things I do for the people of New York.
Do you think she'll persuade him?
How many horny, nerdy college kids do you know who wouldn't give Sam anything she wanted in the hope of seeing her mustached pagoda?
You're the only horny, nerdy college kid I know, old friend.
Touché.
Okay, here's the login. And that greasy, squeaky-voiced kid is not even getting to first base on our date.
He's a banker. He's already screwed the entire country. He's due a strikeout this time.
We'll talk later, Lieutenant.
Logging in now. I don't think you need to worry too much about Spotty McPhee over there, Sam. From the stuff on this guy's computer, I'd say he likes them older than you.
How much older?
GummyGranny4U.com?
Ew.
Over 80 and still Beatty.com?
Egads, enough already, old chum! I do not need to see a woman with cod liver oil capsules in one hand and KY jelly in the other.
Okay, we've got access to the system. Aha, found it. And it's done.
You've got into the security system? You have access to the cameras?
No, I just gave myself a $50,000 overdraft.
Quit putzing around with that thing and get into the security system!
I can't, only the security manager has access to that. The deputy manager's account does have full system privileges though, so if I had the security manager's employee ID number, I could switch you into his user account without his password or credentials.
Easy. Look it up on the computer.
It's not listed, for security reasons. All I've got is his mobile phone number. Here, I'll write it down.
But if we can get his employee ID number, you can get into his account, right?
Absolutely.
How hard can it be? What's the security manager's number, Melvin?
I just gave it to you, on that little piece of paper.
Oh, right, of course. I'm going to phone him and ask him for his security ID.
Mate, he's being guarded by a goon with a gun. You might get him killed.
Those are the kind of risks us law enforcement professionals take every day of our lives.
Bollocks. The biggest risk you've taken all week was that stack of maple bacon pancakes you had for breakfast yesterday.
Wilson Chase Bank, hostage speaking.
Give me that damn phone.
Oopsie.
Now turn around and face me. I want to see exactly what you're doing from now on.
That went well.
It's all part of my plan, old chum. All part of my plan.
Oh, so what's the next step of the plan?
The plan is in a, transitional phase at present.
As in transitional without a paddle?
Lieutenant, do you happen to know if the security manager is inside the building?
Of course, it's the first thing we tried. He's one of the hostages in the front office there. One of the captors is standing right by him with his gun trained on him. They probably know who he is.
We need his employee ID number.
Maybe I could sneak into the bank and get close enough to read his employee ID card.
Do you own a mirror? The only place you could sneak into looking like that is a combination brothel and circus, and I think Mayor Giuliani had a crackdown on them.
He's right, Purple Patriot. You'll have to come up with a better plan for obtaining his employee ID.
We'll talk later, Lieutenant.